Alright, yo, so it's been a while since I made a video. So, I think I filmed a few, I just never actually put them up on YouTube. So, I'm out here today, doing some welding and fabricating and stuff. So, I want to make a video about this thing right here. It's the Milwaukee metal cutting circular saw. I'm making this video more so for like people that are, I guess, just starting out in the welding industry. People that have been around a while probably already have these or have used some. But if you're just starting out on your own, this is actually like a really good tool to have. I never actually realized the importance or the capabilities of this thing until recently. I only have had this thing like maybe a week or two. I've used it quite a bit. I'm not an expert with it, but so far it has opened up like a whole world of possibilities for ways to cut things. Now there are other ways to cut things. You don't need this, but this will speed up the process, make it a lot quicker, and your cuts will look a lot better with far less skill. It's pretty crazy. It just looks like a normal circular saw with this guard here. I just emptied it a little bit ago, so there's nothing in it, but this catches all the metal, and that's what the saw is. So that's pretty convenient. I mean, you still have quite a big mess when you use it, but it does catch some stuff that you can then turn into scrap metal. So what I got this thing for is primarily for cutting this bar grating stuff for some stairs that I make. I actually have the stringers and stuff here. But I also found out this thing is extremely good at cutting angular cuts on 1-inch square tubing. Or if it's the only thing you have around, it can cut up to 2.5-inch square tube, and it will cut it quick, and it will make a perfectly square cut as long as you know how to set it up. You can do that with a grinder, but it takes a lot more skill and it takes a lot more time. So I started using this to cut square tube as well. I have a chop saw with a carbide blade on it that I did a lot of these things with, but I wasn't sure exactly what angle some of these square tubes were going to get cut at, so I fabricated it here, and as you can see, I don't have a carbide bladed metal saw here, so I use this thing. Now, I'm also going to demonstrate another capability of it over here on this repair job. So, what we got going on with this thing, right, is it's pretty much a loader, like a front end loader, like the frame of it, and I don't know if the camera will pick it up, but it's all cracked. These plates are cracked off. It's cracking around here, and then there's other cracks that spider web off of this and go to this weld here. Some of them worse than others. It's on both sides. So some people would get this in and just weld over top of the cracks. That's not really the right thing to do. So we're going to fix it the right way. So some people that would fix it the right way would pretty much just gouge everything out and weld over top of that. But that could turn into a whole science project. You know, you're going to have to follow all the cracks. There's a lot of them. There's all sorts of different angles and stuff. So I think what the easiest way to do is since these welds are mostly already cracked off anyway, we're going to cut it in between this weld and this weld. So right around here is where I want to cut. And then the same thing on this side, right around here. So what I did is I clamped this square onto here. I'm going to throw it up in my vise here. And I'm going to use the metal cutting saw. I set the blade for 2 inches and 2 1/16 inch is my depth setting on that circular saw. This is 2-inch square or rectangular tube. So it might hit this plate just a tad bit. This plate, it looks like I have quite a fair distance there to work with. So we're going to see how this works. All right, so again, real quick, that did exactly what I wanted it to. It took a matter of seconds versus trying to do that with a torch. Now, what I can do is, if this piece doesn't come off very easy, all I have to do now is take the torch, cut here, and then I can carefully take the torch and blow up through here and then clean up this plate real easy versus trying to cut all them angles out and make this into a science project. And then all I have to do is clamp this to this. It's going to be 2 separate pieces. Get it as straight as possible, figure out what I need my new tube to be, and just weld it in there. So yeah, this saw, right, so just an update on this thing. So after a few strikes with the hammer, it did exactly what I wanted it to do. The piece of tubing that we cut broke away, and now we have 2 pieces of the loader frame with that still on there. So now I can just spend some time, clean that off with the grinder, and it'll be ready to weld in no time. So yeah, that's all definitely saved a bunch of time. It's actually the inside of that tube. It's it's getting fairly thin. So I don't know if that'll be a problem. but it's actually rotting out from the inside. So yeah, it will be interesting. But yeah, so we're gonna get this thing welded back in here. All right, yeah, so this is that thing we were working on last night. It's daylight out now, but yeah, so this is that loader frame. The piece that I cut off, I actually used as a crossbar to keep that square. It's just tack welded on to that right now. Yeah, so this is the piece that we replaced. We already welded it in there and then ground it down. So yeah, that was a super quick and easy repair, made possible by this metal cut-in saw here. It would have been a lot more difficult had we not had that saw laying around. So yeah, I think this should hold up. And what I'm gonna do now is just slap a reinforcement plate over top of this and we'll be good to go. So yeah, man, make sure you check out the metal cutting saws. They are one heck of a tool to have. So yeah, see ya.